Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Bringing those mental vitamins to you this morning. Hope you're up, making some moves, got the mind in the right place. But if not, let's put it in the right place. So today, again, I'm going through the routine, doing my thing like I always do, listening to the goodies. And caught this different video with Grant Cardone I wanted to share with you. Again, if you guys don't know who Grant Cardone is, you should. He's more of a business guy, but the way he talks and the thing he shares can relate to just anything and anyone in life, right? Especially like his story because of the way he goes through he went through certain things. So I want to share a little story that he was just sharing on this interview. He's getting interviewed by this guy, and he's talking about his family, his mom and his sister. And he says every time he would tell his mom, what kind of dreams he had, things that he wanted to do, she would always tell him, but I love you just the way you are. I love you just who you are. I love you just the way you are. And then he said, years down the road, he's saying he's got some other goals. He's going to try and do some other things. And then his sister says, Grant, we love you just the way you are. And he goes, man, I don't know how many times throughout my life from my family that I've been told I love you just the way you are. And he goes, man, like, I don't love who I am. Like, I want to change. I want to be better. Again, if you don't know who he is, some of the things he's going through. He lost his dad at 10 years old, and then his brother, I guess, passed away sometime after that. And so he was, he was on drugs, alcohol, all kind of things for a very, very long time. I want to say from like 15 to 25, something like that. So it's a long time, right? It's a long. And he goes, man, I've done everything to, kind of mess up relationships, burned a lot of bridges, just destroyed a lot of things because he was just on a destructive path, right? And so when things start to turn around and he wants to change, he's got family members saying, well, we love you just the way you are. Basically meaning stay there, don't move, settle, be average, like don't change. And that's okay if you don't want to change. But if you want to change, there's a burning desire inside you for whatever it is. Like, you shouldn't just love you the way you are. You should change. You should hate that. You should hate it so bad that you're just going to go get after it and make some moves, because he goes, he says, if you're broke, why would you be happy with that? If you're not living for a purpose, with a passion, with doing something every day that you love to do, why would you be happy with that? Why would you settle for that? If you don't like your job that you go to every day, why would you be happy with that? Why would you settle for that? I can relate to that. I quit my job. Those that know my story, worked for General Motors for 11 years, quit. Now I'm doing jiu-jitsu. Love my job. Like, love what I do. I have a purpose in life now for what I'm doing. Like, I help people. I wasn't helping anyone building Tahoes and Yukons and Escalades. You know what I'm saying? So he goes, if you can't get away from your job, if you can't go on vacations, why would you be happy with that? Why would that be okay? Why would you love that, right? Which is true. So many people I know, they dream about vacations. They never take them. They see other people do them. They don't have their finances in order to do them. They blame other circumstances, other things, blah, 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 why they can't do them, and they're stuck there. Why would you be happy with that, right? Then he just goes on down this list. Like, if you're stuck in a house you don't like, why would you like that? And I can relate to that too. I just recently moved. I was in a house for a very long time, 18 years. I was only supposed to be 5 years when I first moved here. And I just never made that move. And finally I did. And man, it's been the best thing that I've done in recent years. It's literally the best thing that I've done in recent years. Like, it just cleaned up so much clutter and mess around me that, like, I'm just a lot happier than I was before because I just made that actual move. But I wasn't happy there for a long time, and I did settle. I did settle for that until recently in November, I made that move. Actually, I'd made that move in August, September-ish of last year. Maybe it was September, October. Anyways, and it took me a couple months, obviously, to go through that process, and then finally bought and got a new home, right? So anyways, he said, if your car is broken down, man, you got a beat-up car, you got a hoopty, man. Why would you be happy with that? Like, you need to get things in order to go get a new car and get one that's going to get you, to A to B in a safer way. You know what I mean? Like, Like, just get rid of whatever sucks. Get rid of it. Like, don't be happy with that. And I can relate to like all these things that he's talking about because, you know, just throughout the years, you know, I've settled. I've sat on things. You know, I've heard those things too. Like this unconditional love thing, you know. Yeah, you're supposed to love certain people for certain traits, certain characteristics. But man, if you're not happy with like just whatever you're not happy with, why would you settle for that? Like, why would you settle for that? Why don't you just get rid of it? You know, I can relate to so many of these things, like things on my academy. Like my academy is my home. Like like I spend more time at my academy than I do my own home. And I spend more time with my students than I do my own family members. I see my students more than I see my mom. I do see my dad at the school, but we don't really like spend time together. I just see him. He's working at the school, so we don't really like spend actual time together. I'm giving advice. I'm sharing time with my students more than I do my sister, my brother, my dogs, like everyone, wife, like everyone. I give more to my students. So why would I settle for anything that I don't like in my academy? Anything I don't like in my academy, I get rid of it. Doesn't matter if they're black belt, brown belt, they've been there 8 years, 2 years, 10 years. Like if they're doing something that I don't like, they gotta go, you know? Just like you can switch business and take your money somewhere else, I can get rid of a student that I feel like is getting their ego's too big and they feel like they walk on water all of a sudden, and I don't like it because they're damaging the atmosphere of my mat area. I'll just get rid of it. Like that's just the mentality that I have now. I wasn't happy where I lived in Michigan, so I moved to Texas. I wasn't happy with my job at General Motors, so I quit, went to go do this. Like, the list goes on. I'll be here all day, like for just naming off things that I didn't like and then I'm just getting rid of, right? So the I love you just the way you are thing just really got me this morning because that's just a way for people. Like they do love you. Like I want to, you know, just everyone I've listened to or read or whatever, like your family loves you. It's just when they tell you stuff like that, you know, that's just a way to just like stop you from moving. You know, maybe they don't want you to stop. Maybe they don't want to really stop you from moving. But those kind of words, that phrase, that sentence there will stop you from moving because, well, okay, well, why should I try any harder? Why should I try to go for more when people just love me the way I am? But if you're happy, okay, because Gary Vee talks about this. I wrote this down. I've heard Gary Vee. You don't know who Gary Vee is? Gary Vaynerchuk. You should know who he is too. Like you should know who all these people are, right? You'll get to know him as you listen to more of the stuff like I listen to. But anyways, he's another business guy too. He's not really like a motivational speaker kind of thing, but when he breaks things down and shares things, like it's basically what it comes down to. And Gary Vee talks about, look, man, if you love playing video games all day and you're broke and don't really have a lot of money and you're just getting by and you're happy with that, then be happy. You're cool. You're good. You're living the dream, man. Like you're doing your thing. But you can't complain. You can't complain about not having money. You can't complain about not going here, not going there, not doing this, not doing that. You can't complain because you're not doing more work. If you're happy playing video games all day and you're happy where you're at, not having certain things, then don't complain about them. But the second you complain that life is this and life is that and you wish you had more, then it's not congruent, right? Like it doesn't make sense. So it all just comes together. Everything I listen to, all these guys are just the same thing. And I can relate to a lot of them because a lot of this stuff I've dealt with myself and I've made those certain moves. And now that's just kind of the mindset. Whatever I don't like, I get rid of it. Doesn't matter what it is. It's been friends. It's been family members. Like I'll show love to family members when I see them, but it's very short. Okay. I want to say, I forgot what book it was. I'm trying to see which one it was. But anyways, there's 3-minute friends, 3-day friends, 3-month friends, 3-year friends, kind of that concept where like there's people you see for a little bit and then, hey man, good checking you out, man. Hope you're doing well. I'm out. Okay. Can't spend too much time with them because of the way they are, the mentality is, the way they think. Like it's not good. You know, you show them some love and then keep it moving. Then you got other people where, yeah, man, I want to spend more time around you because you're doing better than me. You're thinking the way I think. It's congruent. I want to grow. You're growing. And I want to be around that kind of atmosphere. That's the kind of atmosphere that, over the past 12 years that my academy has been open, that I work really, really hard to build is the work ethic, the mindset of just always trying to get better, never settling, and getting rid of the whining and the complaining on my mat. And those that train at my academy know that the second you say I'm tired or I had a long day, I'll cut that short. Like, man, that doesn't happen on my mat. I don't want to hear any crying, any whining. Again, I'll be a shoulder for you to cry on for a quick minute. I'll give you an ear to listen to you. But then after that, it's going to be like what we're doing about the problem. What's happening next? What's the next move? Got all the tears out. You cried it out. Let out a good cry. What's next? Okay. But if you're going to bring a bunch of negativity on my mat, you're going to talk about how tired you are. You had a long work week and this, that. Not on my mat. Can't have it. Because why? That stuff will just grow like weeds around everyone else. Now everyone else is complaining. I don't like that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't like me because I don't allow them to complain and whine and moan on my mat. No problem. Go ruin someone else's school. That's the kind of mindset I have. And a lot of people don't like that, but I'm good with that because at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm making sure that my mat and my life around me and my circle where I'm at is where I need it to be for growth and to move forward. And a lot of people just don't want to. They want to settle and they are happy where they're at. When they're not really happy where they're at, they just don't really want to make any moves. So, a good little story shared by Grant Cardone this morning with his mom and his sister. I want to share that with you. And unfortunately, you got to share things about your friends and family member sometimes that aren't going to be good, but it is what it is. You know, I was listening to Eric Thomas. If you don't know who Eric Thomas is, you should know who Eric Thomas is. You know, I heard him say one time, like, his mom was mad because in his books or in his messages, he's always sharing things, that aren't really all that good about some of his uncles and his aunts or his family members. His dad left him and wasn't around and all this other stuff. Gets really personal with stuff, but you can't relate to anyone if they're not really sharing a lot of things. And sometimes I'll catch that heat too, because some of the stuff that I talk about in here are directly, shot at my family members. But it is what it is. They're doing the things that they're doing, and it gives me these things to what we're talking about because they're not making any moves and they're settling and they're not doing the things that I know that they're capable of doing. So we're all capable of more. We can do more. We should be doing more. And that's good stuff. So you get that thing where I love you just the way you are. Be careful of that. Okay. If you're happy, again, just make it clear. If you're happy the way you are, then cool. But if you're not, don't settle. Make some changes. The last part of that video, Grant Cardone in the interview, he's like, man, you need to wear one or two shirts, obsessed or average. Which one would you wear around town? And the guy's like, yeah, which one would you be more proud of? How many of you out there would literally wear a shirt that says I'm average on the chest and the back and walk around every day like that? I want the shirt that I'm obsessed and I am crazy. That's the shirt that I want. Okay, really good stuff today. Hope that helps. Again, this isn't going to relate to all of you because a lot of you that are going to be watching this stuff aren't ready to make those moves yet. You're gonna stay where you're at. You're gonna struggle. You're gonna be upset. You're gonna be bitter. You're gonna be mad because you're just seeing other people make some moves. Make the moves, guys. Make the moves. Start today. Stop with all the excuses and make the moves today to get better. This is some hard stuff for some people. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, you have the choice to make things better for yourself, not no one else. All right. Hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one.